Okay, so I thought I would do a really quick video to just review the chair squat. Why I like the chair squat is it teaches the body mechanics of a squat safely and effectively, especially if you don't have the strength to do a squat without assistance. It helps to work the glutes and the thighs, which are the stabilizers for balance, and it is also a functional movement because we rise from a seated position all the time. We are sitting down, standing up all day long. So this is a great exercise to strengthen and as well teach the body mechanics of a squat, which everybody should be doing if they can. So we're going to start in a seated position, and just to see how far away from the chair we need to be. So my feet are up, the backs of my feet are about 9 inches away. Feet are just hip width or slightly wider than hip width apart. Toes are pointing almost straight ahead with a slight angle outward. Arms are raised. I want you to think of pushing the hips back and reaching your bum backwards. Arms are forward, core is tight. We're going to sit down. And then when you stand, I want you to think of pushing the floor away with your feet. So you may need to lean forward a bit, push the floor away, and you'll come up. The movement should come from your glutes and your thighs. Like this whole area should be working, as well as your core should be tight. You want to always keep your core tight. This is what's going to keep you stable. So let's do it again. Arms are raised, core is tight. This is activated. Bum goes back. And we sit on the chair, and then when we stand, we push the floor away and stand up straight. From the side, I need to be about 9 inches away. I'm in the right position. Proper balance, making sure my core is tight, standing up straight, bum goes back. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to push and stand up. Stand up. Now, once you get comfortable with that movement where you're pausing for a second, I want you to try to focus on just touching your bum down and rising up without actually sitting down in the chair. So I'll show you what I mean. Bum goes back. Just going to touch. Butt taps. Right, and you can see I'm getting into a squat position so that when it's time to do without the chair, I've squatted, right? So it's the same movement. I just moved the chair away, and that's how you do a squat. So to progress if you're not ready to do it without the chair, but you want to add an additional level of challenge, like I said, you can start off with sitting on the chair and then standing up, and then you can just tap your bum down. You can also add a little bit of weight. So what you could do is get a little pair of dumbbells, whatever you have. Get into position. You can rest them on your shoulders. And then, right, that's a way to add a progression, is to add a little bit of weight, and that's going to work on your quads, glutes, and hamstrings. You can hold them down here. Although I do prefer it up here. I think this is a little bit more stable. Okay, and then you can do the bum taps. Another way to progress this exercise is to do it single-legged. Single-legged or single-legged? Who knows? Let's look at what that looks like. So you are going to be working with one leg primarily. Most of the weight is going to go into this leg. Put the other leg out in front, like a little kickstand, just to help with balance and stability. Keep your hips squared. You can hold your hands out in front of you, and then you're going to hinge your hips back, sit down, pushing off with just the working leg. This other leg is only here for balance, so 90% of the weight is in this leg. Push up, back down. Same thing, hips go back, and you can take a pause. You can just barely tap down. I'll show it from the side. So I like to start in a seated position for this one because you need to know how far away you need to be. It's a little bit different, and you need to make sure that your leg is in the proper position. It's going to be more towards the midline of your body. Okay, hands are held up. For balance, you can hold them this way, up to a straight tall position, core is tight. And if you're really good, which I'm not, I'll do it the other leg. You could try to hold your leg up and back up. Hips go back. Ugh. My legs are getting tired. So that's another way to progress that movement. That's the chair squat.